What a very great pleasure it is to be invited to chair the first part of this symposium, now for the 11th consecutive year. And can I say, I thought the speeches we've had were terrific. I've heard many student speeches, but Mr. Schniegler's speech was absolutely outstanding, and I think gave the right note for the atmosphere that we face for this St. Gallen. The 3 days in May have become an exciting part of my life. For those who've never been here before, St. Gallen's a wonderful place. The symposium is wonderfully organized by the students. It's very international and it's multidisciplinary. And Mr. Schniegler, in what he said, suggested that this is not just business and economics, or even business and economics and politics, but it's much more than that. When I came in, the welcome is terrific. A journalist said to me from Die Welt, "Are you going to talk this morning about Irish monks?" Because you are Irish, aren't you? Well, first of all, I'm Welsh, not Irish. Although we are both Celtic, but I hadn't planned to talk about how St. Gallen was founded by Irish monks who came here. But on behalf of the organisers, I'd like to extend my welcome along with the rector and the student representative, and extend a particular welcome to one or two individuals. Because it is multidisciplinary, we've always wanted the religious leadership to be involved, not for the symposium to be simply technical. And therefore, to the Bishop of St. Gallen, Marcus Uchilus here, and the Bishop Emeritus, Ivo Fura, to the Chairman of the Consistory of the Protestant Church of the region, Dr. Dolf Vader, and to the Rabbi of the Israeli congregation, Herman Schmelzer. And also a particular welcome to local politicians, particular Mrs. Karin Keller-Suter, Dr. Stefan Kolliker, and Willy Haag. It's great to have you here. Perhaps I can just say something about my own personal approach to this year's conference. The present financial crisis is the most serious banking failure in history, the worst recession, as we've heard, since the Great Depression, and the greatest bailout of any industry ever. And for a brief period, from mid-September to mid-October last year, the world's financial system came literally on 2 occasions to within hours of collapse. Banks in many countries have been partly or wholly nationalized. The financial system is broken. Keynesian economics has been given a new lease of life. The cost of the crisis in terms of lost GDP or trillions of dollars is impossible to calculate. The human tragedy in terms of rising unemployment, the bleak prospect for school leavers, the crippling burden of debt for families, the repossessions of homes is clear for all to see. This is not just an economic crisis or a financial crisis. It is now affecting the fabric of our societies. And as unemployment has been rising, governments cutting back on spending in certain countries, we've already seen serious social unrest. And the question has been raised about the viability, not just of the financial system, but about capitalism itself. The system, as we were reminded, the prosperity that we've had with globalization was built upon certain foundations. A belief in the dignity of the individual and the importance politically of freedom and therefore of democracy, of property rights which are protected by a legal system. And as a result, privatisation, deregulation, open markets, free trade, the promotion of enterprise has given us globally unprecedented wealth over recent decades. That, at present, I believe, is being challenged. And the foundations on which it's been based have been shaken. If I can just give you one quotation, a very intelligent person, the Prime Minister of Australia, Kevin Rudd, in coming to London for the G20, this is what he said: "The current crisis is the culmination of a 30-year domination of economic policy by a free market ideology that has been variously called neoliberalism, economic liberalism, economic fundamentalism, Thatcherism, or the Washington Consensus. The central thrust of this ideology has been that government activity should be constrained and ultimately replaced by market forces." I think that the students, in devising the program of this conference, have seen, as Mr. Schnigler told us, they've seen what the issue of the moment is, with greater state ownership, more regulation, the threat of protectionism, of government-sponsored industrial policy. And therefore the program that they've laid out for us, I think, tackles all of these issues. I've always felt that the St. Gallen Symposium stood for a belief in liberty and in, therefore, democracy, allied to a belief in the market economy, not of market fundamentalism, but a responsible form of capitalism, which I think was so well articulated by both our earlier speakers. And it's in approaching this subject in this conference, I'd just like to suggest 3 words. I think we should do it with humility, because we have to recognize, certainly those of us who come from banks, we have made mistakes. I think we have to approach the subject with patience, because if we go into one reform after another, we have to get them right. And thirdly, we have to do it with courage. We have to speak out against protectionism and against those who want to move to a fundamentally different economic system. Because I believe in going in that direction, it could turn a severe recession into a serious depression. We've got excellent speakers, but could I invite you to really throw yourself into the symposium, be prepared to ask questions, to challenge the statements that are being made, develop your argument and defend your position. Don't necessarily accept the conventional wisdom. I'm sure this is going to be a highly successful symposium, but I have to say it does depend on your active participation. So I think we're going to have a great time, and once again, may I say it's a great pleasure to be the chairman for the first part of it.